Hi everybody. Hi. How was your day? How was your day? Hope you had a wonderful day. Let me use that word. Okay. Hi Titi. Oh my god, I just remember something, Titi. But it's fine. Okay, hi. Hi Tony. Yes, hi. Good evening everybody. Hope we all had a productive day or whatever day, whether good or bad, but we are here, up and grateful. Okay, so yeah, hello, I miss you. Thank you. I'm blushing. Thank you. Yes, so we kind of have like a lot to cover. We kind of have like a lot to cover. So I was able to get like some designs I could work with, so that we're going to be doing like a basic prototyping, right? But also maybe some other things that would then talk about how the case study has been. How have you guys been coping? How's the group? So I'd like to hear, like, I'm not on the group, none of the facilitators on the group, so but I would like to like gist about it. So let's start with that. How has the case study been coming? How's it been coming? Don't forget that our submission is on Monday. So how's it been coming for you guys? How's the group like? How's your group like? Okay, stressful. Sorry about that, Oluwatoyin. I hope it's productive. Exipa. Hi, for I love the way you stretch my name. That's fine. Toy, what? Sorry about it. Sorry. At least we've not had. Please, there should not be glass post. We're just getting started in our journey. So I don't expect us to start fighting or anything. Yes, there's this I don't know what to call it. I want to say it's a misconception that where women had they usually fight. I want us to break that misconception and say women, we thrive, we don't fight, we agree, we are always together, we do collaborations together. So I wanted to break that misconceptions about women. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that it's been good so far. So everybody's up and running. Like that's good to hear. Sorry, Ioma. I'm supposed to know how to pronounce your name because I know somebody that bears that name. So it's been a long time. Okay, I want to hear other people. How has the group thing been? How's the collaboration? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm actually looking forward to really I'm looking forward to like the reviews time. Like when we have the UX review and the UX. I'm really excited. I saw somebody's design. I can't remember her name, but I love it. Like it was very good. But everyone that actually see, one thing I want you to say, I want you to see is that do not judge your design based on okay, right now, let me just say. Do not judge what you are doing with somebody else. Just have that openness to improve yourself. The funniest thing, how life works, if you constantly improve yourself, you could be better than the person. But it's not a competition. That's what I would say. It's not a competition. It's everybody has their own space. Like you have your own space in the world of design. But I just want to say it. So in case you hear different feedback, oh, this person's design is fine, my own design is finer. Oh, I love that. I love to hear that, Arelua. Nice. Yeah, hi, Christian. Nice to see you again. I don't know. My phone is coming back. Okay, yeah, I love to hear that. Wow, alright, that's like an amazing feedback. Please, well done. Thumbs up to all team members. You guys are doing well. Thumbs up to all global designers. You guys are doing well. So now let's get into today's class. So I've seen a lot of people, their comment. Everybody say they're engaging. Everybody's willing to see how we can do a great job. I'm looking forward to that. Don't forget that if you want to do your user flow and all that, you might have to use a mirror. No, sorry, Fig Jam. So You might also want to watch videos on how to use Figma, or maybe watch the videos back, like we've talked about it. So, but make sure that you are doing something, no matter how. Thank you. No matter how like little it is, like they say, a little drop of water makes an ocean. So no matter your efforts, no matter how little it is, at least you're making efforts. You're doing something. That's it. So forget if you don't have a laptop, you can do something else instead. Okay, somebody's already calling that a member. So Joy, I know your I know your team members already. No, I know your the name of your group. Why? Nice. Don't worry. So it's very important that, and thankfully we have like a guide, right? So thank you. It was nice hearing from everybody. So let's get started. I think I've said it like 1 million times, but it's fine, right? You guys forgive me with that. Okay, so today we'll be talking about prototyping. I know you might see some words that you're already familiar with. I'm aware that Esther taught you guys already. Ladies, queens, product queens, a start word. So I know that Esther taught you already on high fidel and low fidel, right? So we just like we just like a recap of high fidel. Then we also like going to Figma to see how, because I'm going to show you like some design. So I was able to get a design from one of from the community, Figma community, that we're going to be using. So, and also use it to do like some samples and all that. So you see how it works. And I will encourage you, because there's an advance that even me, I'm watching it. Because Figma actually used to do updates. They do update a lot. So I would advise that after this class, don't limit your knowledge to this class. That's what I would say, because we can't teach you, like when you say everything, there's some things that we might likely miss out until maybe because of time and all that. So it's important that after each class, yes, digest the class, go again, do your research. I can't remember the name of the lady that I saw a post on LinkedIn, but I know I had to comment on it. The fact that she said something, yes, she said she could not, like, she didn't really get, was it that she didn't really get or something? I can't remember. But she said something like she going back to go and watch more videos, and she was able to do something. She did like a LITA design, like for LITA, something on mobile app, and it was so, like, I was impressed. Let me say that word. I know I'm talking too much, not like I'm talking too much anyways, but I just trying to reiterate all these things to your head, that as a designer, you need to give room for learning, like constant learning. You need to be open to learning. Don't give up. I want to say something again. Like, I know that you're at the part, especially for those that don't have laptop. So if there's a way you can talk out to your HR, so some people have this restriction of not being able to use company's property, right? You might want to reach out to your HR, like explain. So you need to write a detailed mail to your HR to explain that you're upskilling, and try to see how it can benefit the company as well. So nobody wants to lose their best employee. What's wrong with my network? Network. Hear the word of the Lord. Okay, so it's very important that you go back and learn, watch more videos. Don't restrict your learning to just a class. I don't know what's wrong with my. Let me try. Let me switch my network. Can everybody hear me or see me? Can you hear me or see me? Can everybody hear me or see me? Can anyone hear me or see me? Okay. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to be sure because I have like an extension So I'm not seeing myself in the screen, so I'm wondering if everybody can see me. Okay, so let me just leave talking. We'll just about it later anyways. But just please, everything I say, advice and everything, let's take it out. And come Friday, we are going to be having a senior designer come talk to us. So let's prepare as well. Very important. So take your get ready your notes, your everything that you need to get and all. So let's get started. Introduction to prototyping in Figma or with Figma, whichever English you want to change it to. So now, what is a high fidelity prototype? High fidelity prototype versus low fidelity prototype. Why use Figma for prototypes? Simple steps create a high fidelity prototype in Figma. Questions, and practicals. Now let's quickly go. This is like a recap of what you were taught. So, what is a high fidelity prototype? Obviously, high fidel prototype, right? A high fidelity prototype is a detailed interactive mock-up. A detailed interactive mock-up that looks and works like a finished product. So I would say that you just look at, because I might use some terms that you might not like understand yet, or you might, but I would say that a high fidel prototype is like a real life demo of your app. So something happens before these products like you see online that are live. The designer works on it. You as a designer, you work on it, right? You give like a look and feel how it would look like real life. Then there's a part of prototype where you now link screens together to actually test how it works. So it's like a demo of how the product will initially work, right? It's just like a prototype. You just those that do architecture. Let me use that word. Let me use architecture as an example. So, for instance, an architectural an architect. Oh Jesus, an architect. An architect would do like some drawings. I don't know if you have met 3D architects. Like they do like a live presentation of the site, right? How it's going to look. But the structural engineers will now be the ones with the people that they need to work with to now put it like actually build the actual product. But the architect will just do like a sample of how it will look, how it will work, like how your building will look, especially those 3D, not just the sketch now. There's some people that would even, I don't know if you have seen in churches that want to build maybe a new building, they have like like built out, it's like a small kind of design built out already on how they want their buildings to look. Even some bakers, they will now do like a building, that kind of thing. Then, but real life, the structural engineer will now pick it up. Is it structural engineer or civil engineer? I think I think it's civil structure. We will now like work with all those people that need to work and get QS and all that to get actually done. So see yourself as an architect, right? A model. Thank you, Christiana. So see yourself like an architect. So a prototype is like an architectural work before you hand off to your developer. So it's like testing, or so from there people can even give feedback and say, no, I don't want it to be like this, or can we do it like this and all that. So even from the architect, why am I saying architecture? What's going on? Even with the architect work, people, the stakeholders, or like, because we are using a design terms, right? The stakeholders can say, okay, I think this can be better. Can we improve this? Can we make building flat A, or I can't really remember the terms that they use anymore. It's been a long time. So they said to say, okay, do this part. Can you increase this part? Can you increase this room? Can you increase the parlor before they now start building? So imagine that they did not test or they did not build, they just started building. That's like building without vision, that kind of thing. So imagine that you are not involved as a designer. They just want to build. Do you think that, though there's some people that there's actually they use template and all that, but before a UI person or before UI UX came on board, they were terrible websites. I won't lie to you, they were very terrible. But we are the architect of, let me say, architect of software development. Let me use that word basically. But we have people that actually architect. They call them architecture in software engineer, information architect, or architect solution architect. I think, yeah, solution architect. Okay, I hope that is clear. So it's a fidel. high fidel or high fidelity, or let's just use like you guys like ladies like short form. Let's just do HFP. I hope that sticks. HFP is a detailed interactive mock-up that looks and works like a finished product. It includes the final design, that is final design after we've done the low fidel or your paper sketch, then we've moved to we've moved to the low fidel, the high fidel, right? So now the prototype, that's where you now link screen. Your final design, you have your colors, you have your font, you have images and every clickable element, right? Okay, so let's move to the next. Why is this important? It feels like the real product. It's how the look and feel. You as a project designer, you build the look and feel, how it will look, how it will feel, how people will be able to interact with it. I Fidel, thank you, real Loa. I Fidel, yeah. So it feels like the real product, so people can test it and give feedback, right? So before developers start working on it, or before you hand off to your developer, you get to test with people. You can even test with you test with your users to see, okay, was it very difficult for you to do this, blah blah blah, and all that. You test with your stakeholders, you test with developers, like you test with your team and see what can be better, how can you make things better before you hand off, right? You can also get feedback from them. Getting feedback, you can get okay, you need to improve this needs to be done. Then also you can show it to others and make changes before the final version is built. So imagine, see, let me say, we're such a blessing to the world of software engineering. Really, 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 really. Just see yourself as a blessing to software engineering. So imagine that before we came on board, let's use that word, they had to write a lot of code. I don't know if you have seen a developer actually work like just this. Especially people that are just getting started, just this part, they can write a lot of lines of code. But imagine that we are here, we now help them, they help their lives. We actually build something that, like, kind of a look and feel of the product, or something that feels like the real product. Then we are just doing, then we get feedback, we do correction, we test with users, we get feedback, we analyze and all that, then we do corrections. So imagine that a developer now writes all the codes, and they finish writing all the codes. Just imagine that they've written a lot of code. Then the stakeholder are saying, no, this is not the direction of how we're going to go. Oh my God, it can really be frustrating for the developer because they've taken time, because it takes a lot of time to build. They've taken a lot of time to do a lot of things, and now developer stakeholders are saying, no, this is not the way to go. Or maybe because of due to the user testing they've done with users, they now get to say, okay, can we do this better, or can we make this better, basically. So with a prototype, you can actually show to others, show to the stakeholders, the users, they can use it, right, before they even start building it. So from there, you can even see, okay, if you can actually make changes or you can modify. And it's so sweet. Why it's so sweet is because, we use a design system, and if it's color problem, you can just go to the source, that's like your main component, and just change the color, and it reflects across board. So imagine that a developer has to change colors in 150 places without design system. Oh my God, that would be very frustrating. You might not relate because you're not a developer, and I cannot relate because I'm not a developer. Anyways, but I feel for them actually, that really, thank God for us in their lives. I use that word, and thank God for us in the lives of the software life cycle. So I hope I'm clear, because I'm not seeing anybody's chat. I hope I'm just clear. Let me know what together. Are we together? I hope we are clear. We're good. We understand. Are we all together? I'm waiting for your comment. Yes. Okay, that's beautiful. I love that, everybody. So now, if a high fidel, it's like a try before you buy version. So just look at it like that. Try before you buy. Maybe you want to, that in for instance, in Coach Stone, is it at Coach Stone? Oh, okay. Anyone. If you go to Coach Stone, right? they give you like a spoon. Maybe we have different flavors. We have the coffee flavor, creamy flavor, strawberry, all those flavors. You know, you can actually test before they now give you like what you actually want. So that's like just see a eye figure like that. That's something you try. Okay, does it work? Does it make sense? Do I like it? Do I want it? Or whatever. Okay, you laughing emoji. Okay, thank you, as coach told. So, that's something about designers. We are open to learn too, and we're open to corrections, anyways. So, uh, if you refuse, when you test or refuse to buy, I don't know, because I've not tried before, but because I don't, I've tested like different flavors. I've tried to taste different flavors, and at the end of the day, I tend to like take what I like. So it's just like if you go to a standard boutique. When I mean standard boutique, I mean standard boutique or fashion house. You know, you can actually try dresses on, take pictures, and see, okay, do I like it or not? Do I want it? Try, and you try till you get what you actually want. So something like that. So you can say that, okay, I think that, and some people in at the boutique or they get to figure out, okay, I think I can make this amendment. I like this dress. I can make this amendment, and they get to buy it. You get okay. All right. So now let's just do high fidel prototype, low fidel prototype. So low fidel prototype is simply sketches to show your ideas. They don't look real, like, but they help you map out the basics of your app. You don't need colors to stress yourself with colors or images and all that, right? So this is more of a recap because you've been taught already, but it's just like a recap because we want to go somewhere. So high fidel prototype is polished and interactive. It looks almost like the finished app or website with all the colors. Oh, sorry about my voice. Okay. Sorry. It looks almost like the finished app or website with all the colors, the font, and the working buttons. And just think of a low fidel as a rough draft and a high fidel as the final polished version. So let's say let's look at it in the place of maybe an apartment. So let's look at low fidel as screening. Then now let's look at high fidel as the painting, initial painting. Do you get it? Right? Yes. Okay. Now, what are the steps? I'm going to be reading, like, also talking more, but this are just keys. So it's not like this is, but it's just keys. So what are the steps to create a high fidel? Is you design the layout. Okay, no ma, I don't understand. No ma, but what? So steps to create a high fidelity or high fidel prototype in Figma. Design the layouts. Yes, your design should be ready. Like Esther's design that we reviewed that last on Monday. Let's say that's our design, for instance. So design is ready, right? Now the next thing is to add interactions, preview the prototype, share with others. So I'm going to like talk about some things. So so what are the guides to prototyping in Figma? I will start with, so if you have an account, whether you're under a team or a plan, you can actually use prototyping, the prototype tool in Figma. Then if you have access to edit, someone that has access to view you cannot like link the screen. So you can only play it like it's the prototype that's been done. But if you have at the edit access, you can actually create prototype. But if you have view access, you can only play prototype. Now, with Figma prototyping, you can preview interactions and user flow. You can share or iterate on ideas. You can collect feedback from your collaborators. You can get feedback. You can also test interactions with users. So with prototype, you can do all these things. You can present your design. So you're not just showing them the screens, you're also showing them how it works on design. Also, how do you connect? How do you create a flow? There needs to be a starting point. That's it. So for your prototyping, there needs to be a starting point where your actual work like your design will start from. You need to like create a flow from your first screen or your starting point. Whatever your starting point could be, your splash screen or whatever thing you, depending on what you are working on. Or if it's like a landing page, that's like the home page. Or if it's a landing page, that's the home page. But if it's a mobile app, it could be your splash screen. That's your splash screen, maybe that screen that shows you, for instance, when you download a new app or you are just logging in for the first time, there's this screen to show you with the logo, maybe with their colors or maybe different interactions and all that. So we're still going to enter Figma, right? But just talk about theory before we do practical, because it's very important that we do the practical. So there are a few other ways to add your flow, that is to start your starting point. So let's go into Figma so that you understand better. So don't be as if I'm just speaking English, a lot of English. Anybody that did not join any group, that means that the person did not fill the form. So I think that is off. I don't know what to say about that anymore. I'm not going to address that anyways. So people, let's head to Figma. Are we ready? Are we excited? Because I'm excited. Let's head to Figma. So I'm going to be using one of the open source design, or I can start with Elizabeth's own. That's something simple so that we can test. But Elizabeth's design is just one, so we might not be able to use it because it was just a login this thing. Except we do that. Let me see if he has. Okay, let's just do Figma first because I want to try some things. Okay, yes, I want to try some things. So let me add to Figma. Let me share my screen so that we can add to Figma. There's nothing I can do about it. So let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Don't worry, I can't even note it. I hope I was not the one that touched. Okay. Okay. So what are you guys seeing? So Elizabeth, I saw that you don't have any assets. So I want to play with your design so that we can, because I also want us to touch iFidel as well. So I saw that you don't have any, you don't have any assets, right? So I'm going to duplicate this guy. Let me duplicate so I'll not touch your design. So I'll be working on page 2. Let's name it little test. Okay, I hope everybody's seeing me. I don't know, I use a Mac, so I don't know. I currently don't know how. I think I will check how it looks on my sister's system, but this is how it looks. This is not how it looked before. Like, this is an update. But I know that Esther gave me feedback that Figma is planning to revert back, because Figma was like very simple, like the easiest to learn. If you are starting out design, it was the easiest to learn design. So if you see my own cursor, my own panel is like, I have panel by the left, by the right. Can you see my cursor, my mouse? So I have also down. So we'll be working with this part. So this was where I created a new page. I hope you saw me when I created a new page. To duplicate, I clicked on this guy to duplicate to get this, right? I know some people know it, but let's just, okay, not assume. So now if you want to create an asset, there's file and there's asset. Can you see file? My cursor, where are you? okay, there's file, there's assets. Now, there are actually some pre-made UI kits, so I want to use this guy. So I've added it, guys. I've added this. I've added it to my assets. Okay. So there are buttons and accordions, avatars. I have some buttons here. I have some cards I can play with. So it's even easy for you. You can actually link. You can actually like get already, like I said, you don't need to like start building your design system from scratch. So you can have all this, right? So you can let's do something. Now, how do you create a frame? You go to the frame. I hope everybody can see my screen. Let me see, are there colors here? Let me go back. Okay. Let's add material. Let's add this one. This material design. Okay, we've added them. So if you want to add more files, you go to your assets, click on libraries, then it pops out. This is like a pop-up. Then you can see options, or you go to. So like I said, I've been using Figma for a long time, so I don't know how it's going to work, but just make sure that if all this is not clear, try to watch videos as well to see how you can. That's how you learn, not just what we do here in class. Okay, so I wanted to use this guy. So let's use this guy. Okay. So there are different designs. I think I would prefer the iOS than material design. Okay. So let's create hold on please. Oh, what do I do? I wanted to, okay, let me see if this person has style guide. Okay, look at this person already has design system. Oh wow, this is beautiful. I love this. So this person already has design system that we can work with. So this is coin pay fintech finance mobile app that I got on the community. I got from the community, right? So this person already have, can you see the color palette? So this is part of my drafts. Let's duplicate, because you don't want to use somebody else on. We've duplicated it anyways. So we'll be working with that. Okay. So let me just take what's her name? Elizabeth work so that we can redesign. So yeah, there's already like an asset, right? So let's go to this person already have this group. I think it was created by two. I'm not sure it was one person anyways. So now this is the color palette. We've duplicated it. Now, let's say that we want to change this guy. So look at this. So we've already so we want to create a design system, right? We already have this design system already, but you know that because we've duplicated it, it's not like linked. Oh, why did I close that one? I should have showed you. It's not like named because we duplicated it. So we've actually now like starting, just like you're starting from scratch, you've built what you want to build. Then you want to now start naming it. Now this is this is it. So this is the naming. You name, this is the color. Let's say we want to change this to, just follow my cursor. Let's say this is glitter pink. So litter pink is actually, so let's name this pink 50, right? I didn't give you basket because people can't touch my design. Anyway, so let's now, if you want to now look at my, just follow my cursor. Now we want to name this guy because all these are not named. They've been on, we've unlinked it from the source, right? Now it's now like what we want to use. So we have unlinked it from the major source. Okay, so now these are the colors. Can you see? These are the colors that are available, right? So we can now name this. There are already some default colors, but let's just name this. Let's name this litter primary color. Litter primary color. So we are creating a style. And if you are lost, okay? I'm trying to do everything together before we move into prototype. I'm trying to teach you how you can recreate what's the word? Recreate a design system. So I went to community. I went to Figma community. I got a project. I just did like a search, fintech landing page or fintech design, mobile design, and he gave me this guy. So I brought it here. So it's here, and I duplicated it, right? I duplicated it. So I'm just showing you that instead of you now start building. So look at Elizabeth now. Elizabeth does not have any design system to work with. So that means that if I change, so I'm trying to teach you something. So if by change, I cannot change because. So for instance, now let's use Elizabeth. I guess she could link. So because of I've linked some assets, right? And maybe I can change this from here. Now look at it. I shall not confuse you. How did you unlink from the major source? I will not confuse you. You shall not be confused. I am just, so it's like I'm just teaching you, like showing you some things, how to make your work easier before we dive into prototyping. So that when you start designing, it will not take a lot of time. Something that's supposed to spend between maybe one day, because of you don't know how to figure out things, you just you start repeating and creating more components and all that. So sorry about that. If you feel that I'm confusing you, maybe you have to watch the video anyways. So I'm saying that because of design, due to if we have design system like now, this is a library, a color library, right? I think we need to I don't know what to say, but you might have to watch the video, right? And also there are some videos that you need to watch that will be part of it that will help you. So all this is just to make your work faster. Instead of you imagine that you don't have any color ready. So let's say for instance there's no color in your library. And these colors are showing because I told you that this when I came here there was no assets. So there's a place where there's file, for instance, an asset. With your asset, you can use reusable components. Okay. Oh yeah, Ibo, let me pause here. I want to know what's the problem. Let me pause here. Okay, what's the problem? I want to hear from you guys. What's the problem? What's the issue? I'm still looking for low fidel. Okay, don't worry. That means we'll create a material that you guys can watch all these things. Okay. I'm waiting though before I continue. Before someone said that I'm already lost, because it will not make sense that my own goal is to teach you and you understand. Start again with what? Now, how do I? Don't forget, I did not create it. It was Elizabeth. That's Elizabeth. That's one of our students here that created it. So I'm starting again. I am starting again. Let's ignore. Let me create another page entirely. Empty page. Okay, let's assume that you're just coming in. Yes, this is iFidel design. So let's assume that you just open your Figma and you created a file, right? So I think I need to do something. What do I need to do? So this was the community space I was talking about. So okay, so let's say this is the home. This is the web. There's a web icon that shows community. That is where you can actually. I'm logged as a personal account actually. My account is personal. Anyways, all those things will have to like show you materials. Okay. You say you don't understand how we got here. If you okay, let's see. So this is Figma, opening Figma, right? This is you opening Figma. So just hold on, please. Let me do something. Just let me do something. I'm coming so that I can let me see how we can start this all over. Okay. Okay, so I'm starting it again. Oh. So let's start from Figma. All these things that you guys have been taught. So I'm wondering, can you hear me? No, it's fine. My goal, you need to understand it anyways. So because my version or because my own Figma, I've been using it for a very long time, like years now. It's not like years now. So that's why you're seeing a lot of like new files. And I'm an education user, right? I teach design, so and I'm a student as well. So if you are a student and you use education, or if you are a student or you teach people design, you can get a free plan for your Figma. Like when I mean free, not the free is for everybody, but there's a paid version, so people pay for it. But my own, they gave me access to a lot of things because I teach design and I'm a student as well. So if you're a student, kudos, congratulations. You can use Figma. You can apply, not apply, just that. So this is my own this interface because I already have designs that I've worked on actually, right? So this is my panel, right? I have recent, I have drafts to move, I have drafts, that is some design I just open randomly from somewhere. It's stored on my draft, so I can go there, right? So I can decide to move all this to my private space. You can see move this draft to a new private space. But these are all the drafts I've opened. These are my drafts, all projects. You get to see, they say all projects, my admin. Now, these are all my files, right? Or my folders. I have different folders here. Now, let's say that you're starting a new project. There's an icon or a button that shows you project. There's a plus, then project. You can click on it and we want to create a project. You don't understand words. I'm trying, oh Lord, just pay attention, please. Right? Now, if you want to start anything on Figma, you need to create a project. That is, if you don't have an existing project. For instance, I already created a file for LITA, right? I think it's here. It's under my designs. I have like different designs under LITA, but I wanted to show you how you can create a project, right, based on what you want to work on. Now, this is like a project. You click on projects. Now you can enter your name. Let's say LITA test page. Then you continue. Then you get to see, okay, who can access and all that. Then edit. Do you want other people to edit? Then you create your project. So you're able to create your project. That's like project. Now, after creating a project, there's now a place. So there's like, if you are using Google or your drive, if you want to upload something on your drive, there's a place for you to either add new folder or file. Now let's say we've created a folder. So in this place of folder is project. We've created a project, which is LITA test project. So it can be used. Now, this is the project. This is our board. Let's say this is our board. This is our board for LITA. Now, if we want to create, we can create a new design file that's still on this project. We can create a new Figma board. We can create slide deck or import designs into this project. So now let's create new design. Let's create this design file. So now look at it. I hope we are getting this thing. Now I'm creating a new file from the project. The first thing was to create a project. Then the next thing, from the project, I can now create what? A file or a design file, either a design file or a Figma board. Everything will now be on that board. If you look for anything based on my naming, you get to see highlight and projects under LITA. Okay. So I have already created I've created a file under that project or under that board. We already had a board. We have a whole board to ourselves for LITA. Now I'm creating a file, right? So let's see. Let's name this. So I'm renaming it. Now there's a place when you create a new file, it shows you untitled. Adeyemi, it looks like it's only Adeyemi that is following me. Okay. So you see, when you create a new file, it shows you untitled. By the left side, I just hope your interface is. I have to like check how it looks on web as well. Sorry, on Windows because I use a Mac. So, there's untitled by default. Is untitled. That means you've created for free payment. If you're a student, you can choose the education plan to they'll give you for free education plan. But if not, you might have to maybe use an existing project. So don't create a project again. Maybe you can create a new file under a project that you have already. So I can create many projects. So maybe we'll go back to that. So now by default, you see untitled. Let's name it. Let's say test 1. This is still under. Now, so we've named it test 1. This is the name of our file under LITA board. So we have a board and we have a file. Let's say we have, just like in church, we have maybe in choir department, right? Let's say we have subgroups under choir department. The choir department that's the music team, for instance. That's like the main board or our main project. Now, under choir department, we now have welfare subgroup, prayer subgroup, all those kinds of things. Those are files under choir department. That is the board. So let's say that LITA is choir department, right? LITA is choir department. Test 1 is prayer subunit or subgroup under LITA. Do we get it? I hope we got that. So now, under every under every file, you can also create pages. You can have depending on your plan. So someone like Ayola, you might not need to create a new project. You might just go to create a new, you might just go to file under a project that you have created, right? You might want to go back, maybe any project you have created, you click on it. Well done, Buki. So, for instance, Ayola, you don't need, since you can't create a project because of payments, because of your plan, you can just go back to any of the projects, maybe your any of the what's the word, projects you've created. Then you just click on create new to create a new file. Let me know if that works for you, Ayola. Let's see if that works for you. Okay, now let's go back. Now, under test one, I'm not supposed to be teaching you this thing because we've done this thing before. This thing has been done before, but it's fine. I understand. Okay, so under your test one or your file, default file, by default, test one, they've already created one page. So you can now decide to like create multiple pages. So let's say page one. Let's name this cover. Let's name two main. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. Main design. So you can see that this is like this file has not been used, nothing has been done, no layers, no design, nothing. Now we can now go to our assets. If you are following me, by default, there are actually assets that I can use by default here, but they are not linked already. I have to click on them myself to be able to link it as an asset so that I can use it. Damn, Laura, did you hear what I told Ayola? You have to do that too as well. So for those that, if you're on free plan, you don't need to create a page. I'm just saying for the people that have not opened it before. Anyways, so what I did now was they gave me like, Figma gave me like 3 options to choose from for my design system or my style guide. So I decided to click on plus for my iOS 18. Now I've added it to my library. Can you see? It has been added to my library. I clicked on it to add it to my library. Now this is it. These are like categories of what is there. Now, still on the asset, I can go back. Can you see there's a go back icon here? Takes you back. Then I can decide to add more libraries. Right? So by default, you have like your style guide, like let's say default style guide or library that comes with your project. So by default, this is my own theme library, right? So I added this guy already. So I have my own personal theme library that came by default, right? And now this is it. So I have all this already. So I can decide that I want more or search for more. Basically, let me add everything to it. So this is it. So that is what I was doing that you guys said you don't understand, but I hope you understand now. I hope we are on the same page. I hope that we are good. It has been added. This is your library. That book icon is your library. I hope we understand. This one I'm not hearing people's voice again. Joy, what do you mean? People should please. Right? Okay. So we have different agree. These are like it's a way high. Let's go back. Let's use material IO. Now let's go and check the colors. Let's go back. So the next thing on this same page, we are small. Yes, ma. Okay. At least you are following. That's my joy. Okay, so now let me go back before you say you don't understand. This my panel down here. Normally, usually it was up here. Before this thing where you can move your frame, your rectangle. Your rectangle has a lot of items here, right? Your pencil tool, your text, your comments, and the component thing. Then this one, if you want to move to development, right? They were always here. Yes, you can continue with your design folder. So you can just create another file. Or even on this, if they don't allow you to create another file, you can just come to that file that you have created and just click on the plus to create more pages so you can use it instead of wasting space. I'm just teaching you so that you understand, right? So I hope you people got everything that I've done so far. I hope so. Anyways, so let's do something. So this is your frame. So when you click on your frame, you get to see different options. We have for phones, we have for tablets, we have for desktop, presentation, whatever you want to build. There's already a customized size for it. So let's say that we want to do iPhone, right? Now, everybody, did you notice that there's color here? Because I added my asset already. They are already assets. By default, you have your theme library. So note that by default, you have your theme library. So this is my own theme library colors. Now, because I added more assets, I added my Material 3 design kit. I added iOS and one other one. I was able to get more colors. Now, let me go and pick. Let me go and pick Esther's design. Please, we are still going to prototype. We are going on break soon. So now this is Esther design, right? So I want to duplicate it. Now also another thing is that naming is very important because you need to name your this. Let's name it login screen 1. Can you see that everything is showing by the left? Everything I have here. If I close this, you can see. If I open it, it shows me more information of what I'm working on. So your naming is very important. It's very, very, very important for your handle. Now let's name it name 2. Now, what we want to do now, we want to change some things. So imagine that there's no design. So imagine that your stakeholder or your project manager now said, branding has changed. Can we change to another color? So let me show you something. I want to show you something now. I know that people will be saying, how did I get here? So let's assume that this is our color, our button. Do you know about components? So if you want that things reflect, no, it will not. The only thing is that if you use the same component, when you change the main component, it changes everything. Do you get? So now, let's create this as a component, right? So we are creating this as a component. Don't forget your naming. Let's name it main button. And let's say main button has, let's change the color to pink. Let's say this is litter pink. Now, if you take this main button and put it here, I want you to notice something. Let's replace it. We are replacing it with this button. Did you see that I can actually pick here and just change it here, replace, there's space to replace, right? Now, look at it. Let's say that a blessing comes to me and say, hi, Folashade, well done on your work. Please, branding has changed, and I want you to, can you change the color across? Designers, we don't need to start going and start saying, okay, imagine that we have, let's say, 3 screens, and everything is using the components. Let's say 5 screens. I want you to just notice something, how easy your work is as a designer. Now, this is the main component, right? Your main button. Now, imagine that you have to start changing the color one after the other. Now let's reverse back. You can just come to the main component. Come and see what will happen. Magic. If you should take notes. Did you guys see what happened right now? Something just happened right now. Did you see what happened right now? I want you to tell me, testify to what component is doing. Can you see that there's a change? Are you in this class today? Okay, I'm waiting for more comments. All right. That's like the work of components. The work of you saw the magic. Thank you. Yes, we did magic. So yes, so that's what I want to show you about this. So because we need to go on break now. So after the break, we'll come back and continue. A button component has been created. Thank you very much. So you can quickly take water, relax, take a walk. We're coming back shortly. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, that was a refreshing break. I hope you stretch yourself, like stretch a little, like you drank a lot of water. So now let's go back to the magic of components, and let's go back to our Figma. Okay. Okay. We are not done. Break is over. Break is over. Okay. Good sense. Just want to go. Okay. Okay, let me show you how I created a component. So let's say that this is our button. Let's say this is our button. You've created this button, right? Or whatever you got the button from. It could be from maybe one of the assets that you're using or you want to use, or part of your design system, right? So now to make this a component, you click on, because it's now a frame. Don't forget your naming. Let's name it test component, for instance. So there are variations anyways. Test button, or we can say primary button. I want to do another, so let's say we name this primary button. Let's say we want to do two different components. Let's name this secondary button. That will be your network. Oh. If my screen is looking blurry, because I'm deeply zoomed in out. Or okay. Okay, Damilola, what for me is trying to explain to you is that you don't need to have all my colors. Why I have all the colors was because I added some assets. So by default, you should have some colors in your color component. If you go to your color component, do you know how to go to your color component? Your color component in this panel, you click on this more icon that shows apply styles and variables. You click on it. So you get to see all your theme libraries or your theme colors. So you don't need to have exact like all my colors. It's because I added some assets actually. So I hope I'll get in those that said I should create components. So this is our primary and our secondary. So we can actually make this there's like multiple components on just one component. So let's say this is, let me change it. Let's say this is secondary and I want my secondary to look like this, for instance. Now, if I want to just create, let me duplicate this so that if I want to just create one component from this, that is just one main component, I'll click on it. You click on the frame. It's now a frame. It has to be a frame, not an image. You click on it. I hope you're following. You click on it. Are you see the way I clicked on it? You can click on it. So there's another way. What I did was I right-clicked, and under here I have create component. Can you see? Create component. The other way you can go is the other shortcut you can go is option command. Your own will be control if you are using desktop or that laptop. Then K. So my own is shortcut is option command K. It has, can you see, it has turned to a component. I did not see, I'm coming now. People that say, how did I turn it to frame? I took Elizabeth's, what's her name? I took Elizabeth's design. That's what I did. I used Elizabeth design. So you don't even need to create buttons. Since you have your design system, you can just go to available buttons and just you reuse them. So this is button already. Can you see this is a button already? This is a button created already. I don't have to create button from scratch. That's another thing. You don't have to create button from scratch. Like this button now has a lot of design already. Let me show you. It has a lot of variants. It has different variants, has different states. Let me show you. So all these things is very, that's why I said that I have to share a video for you to watch and understand, because we don't have much time. And now very soon now we'll have to close. So look at now this button. When I brought out this button from my assets, I didn't turn it to a frame. When I turn, like for instance now, it was Elizabeth's button I used, right? But now I took a button out of one of my assets or my design system that I have, because I have like 3 design system linked, right? So now this button, do you know that it has different states? There's a primary state based on just one button that I saw, just one button I took out. Do you know I was able to see they already linked it? So it's instead of you now start doing the variant by yourself, the state, the size, everything, you can just come here and change things. So this is already primary. Now we can say that this is, let's say this is subtool. Now let's say that this is a default state, right? This one can be subtool over state. Let me duplicate it. Duplicate for me is Command D. You can also call this a secondary button, but this is like a primary button. This, you can see the power of company and design system, already made design system. Imagine that you have to start building this from scratch. So let's say that this is my primary button. This is my panel here, right? There's a primary button. Sorry. The over state. This is the over state. This is the disable state. Now for the subtool button, this is default. Still on the subtool button, this is the over. Still on the subtool button. Don't worry, we are working on a document that we'll share with you guys, so that you just have everything in one. Just pray for us, because of we have work as well, but we can't do this. So this is disable for subtool. So those are the 2 buttons that is available here. So this one is even already a component actually, and I can change it here. I can change the color. So did you see that I did not make it? But if you want to build your button from scratch, you can either do like this, create your button, use the right size. Let's say you want your button to be 2.4 by the width. You want the height to be like, let's say 32 or whatever you want it to be. You want to add, let's say you want to add your, so this is like creating from scratch, right? You want to add your border radius. You can either put the same border radius or just select what you want to do. So if you want this to go generally, you can do 24. Let's say you want border radius to be 24. So I'm creating button from scratch, right? This is one button. Now you cannot. Did you see? You can actually make. Can you see that I already made it? Sorry, let's go back. Okay, so I already created my button, right? It's not a frame yet or anything, but this is it. And if you go to your file, you can see a rectangle. Now you can name it button 1. So this is me creating from scratch, right? This is me creating from scratch. So I can decide to, okay, let me give it a color. Let's give it purple or Irish. Then we can either click on right click, as far as you can click on it. So right click, create a component. Yes, we can adjust it. So this is it. Now it's on org. So if you see under the auto layout, right, Damilola, under the auto layout. So if you're bringing it out already, because you have to bring it out and arrange it. All right. So under your auto layout, that is by the right of your screen, you see something like position. When you click on the button, auto layout. So auto layout, if it's on org, you can resize. But if it's on fixed, you cannot resize it. So this is on org. I can resize to my taste. Do you get? I hope that is clear. So the person that asked about creating buttons. So I can create this button and just create as component, or there's a place where they wrote rectangle by the right side. You can just click on it to make it a component, and that this is a component already. So let's see if how it works here. Let's duplicate the screen. I want to say shout out to Lizzie for allowing us to use that design. You should make a shout out to her anyways. Thank you, Lizzie. So now let's say this is our button, right, that we have created. This is the main component. So this is the main component that I just created. Let me replace it. I've replaced it. So you don't need to even like delete before. You can just do right click on what you want to replace, right click on it and click on paste to replace. You've already copied already, just paste to replace. So now let's duplicate this again so that you see how this works again. So you not look like that, it's because I did this. So can you see now? So let's change this to all my libraries. Where's my library showing? Why is my library not showing all my colors? Something is wrong. It's not showing all my colors. Anyways, so we can change this to pink. So if you change this to pink, it changes. If we change it to 100, it changes. Sorry, iris. If you change it to any color, it changes. So can you see how it works? Okay, so I hope we got that. Now let's go to our discussion of today. We have like less than I hope everything I discussed today, so that when you are designing your work and videos you shared, so that you can also work, right? So that let's go to our case study of today, what we'll be using to do our prototype, right? So now this person has named this. Can you see different page? So when you come here, you know what this is for. When you come here, you know that this is light theme, but I'm a dark theme person, so we're going to be using the illustrations, use design system. This is on design system. You can preview. Okay, now let's go to if you want to reuse something, you need to create a component for it to work across. Okay, so now this is our splash screen. Now remember that I said now we're going to guide to prototyping. Remember that I said that you need to have a starting point. You need to create what? A starting point. Now for us, our starting point is where is splash screen. Now if you want to prototype, there's a default there's the design and prototype. Now you have to switch from design. Currently we are on design mode. So if we want to switch to prototype, or we want to go to the prototype, right? We have to switch. Lizzie is blushing. No, if you should know why she's blushing wherever she is. That she's celebrating herself. We celebrate him, Lizzie. Anyway, so you have to be able to switch. You have to switch if you want to do. There's the design mode where you can actually touch design, work on your design, and do a lot of things. Now, there's a part of the prototype mode. That is when you have done everything. Now you want to link screen. So for your prototyping mode, you would see some things. You see the flowing starting point. Remember that I said a starting point, right? So you have to select your starting point. So let's say that screen is our starting point. We select starting points. Can you see that it shows you flow 1? Now in a design, you might want to show your stakeholders different flows. Maybe you want to show them first flow that, oh, this is how this part will work. But you can create multiple flows actually in your design, in just one page in your design. So let's name this our flow test 1. Test 1. There are other functions that you can do. You can add also different interactions. There's the on-click interaction, that is when somebody clicks on whatever you are linking. When someone clicks on that thing, it clicks. There's the place of drag. You can drag an item. That's like your effect. Those are your interactions. There's while hovering. There's the hovering part. When you know when you hover or something. There's press. You press. There's keypad or gamepad. Like it brings out a key. When you enter, it will work. There's the mouse enter. There's the mouse leave. There's the mouse down. There's the mouse up. So there are different interactions. And we're going to see how it actually works. Yeah. So we've clicked on our starting points. So right click on the flame, then add your starting point. So we have right click. So another way aside here is, let's remove the starting points. You can click on your frame, then you can right click, then you see. So when you right click as well, there are also functions that you can use, but there are some functions that they are on the panel too that you can use. But if you want to just, maybe you don't want to go out, you can just click on it, right click, right? Then there will be add a starting point. So I've added my starting point and I can rename it. Let's rename it as test 1. I hope that is clear. Did we get that? Now, so we are currently on prototype mode. You cannot prototype on a design mode. It has to be on a prototype mode. And don't forget how you switch. You switch from design. If you see that your design is on, like there's this design or whatever that it's bold, or it's showing that you have to switch to prototype, so you know that you selected prototype. So you get to see this is our starting point. Now we want to click on interaction. We can say, okay, this is on click. So let's say if you click on this, now if you notice that there's a, what do I call it now? I call it connection. So select the hotspot for the connection. So let's say this is the hotspot. Did you notice there'll be something like this? It's a connection. Now you have to click on it and drag. Sorry, why is it doing it now? Now I'm dragging to where, please, what should I explain again? This is the splash screen. Select your starting point. Then you will see this plus. Wherever you see this plus. So for instance, if they click on this compay, it should go to another screen. You will drag the plus. There's this plus, we call it connection, that you can use, or you call it wire, whatever you want to call it to understand. This plus sign is for you to connect. You drag it. Why is it not dragging? It's for you to connect to another screen. So now let's test this. So this connection is for while hovering. I don't want while hovering. I want on click. So now let's play it. Do you know So there's this play button. If you're on YouTube or you watch YouTube very well, or Netflix and all that, there's a play button as well on the right side. I hope we're clear. Eh? Moyo Ade. There's the play button. It shows when you over on it, you put your cursor on it. It shows you present, right? Present. Moyo Ade, what's the problem? Like I said, for you to link your you need to select the hotspot for the connection. So for instance, when I mean hotspot, this is where you want to connect to another screen. This is what you want users to be able to click to connect to another screen. So you click on it, then it shows you the hotspot connection or the icon or the or plus or addition icon. Then you can drag to your destination, whatever you want. It could be this, it could be that, it could be anything, anywhere, but this is where we want this to be. So you drag it. Do we understand that? So on click, so there's triggers. So I can decide that, okay, I don't want that users should be able to click to be able to connect to the other or to be able to go to the next destination. I want them to be able to drag that icon, or I want them to be able to just over. When they over, it takes them to the next screen. Or when they press something, it takes them to the next screen. Or if keypad appear and they type any letter, it takes them. So there are interactions. There's after delay. Now the after delay effect. Let me play this effect first. It's loading. So let me play this. Now look at this. Is, I remember I linked this particular screen to another screen. Now if I click on it, it shows the next screen. It shows the destination. Do you get? It shows the destination. So now let's do another effect. Let's say let's use another effect. Let's use on after delay. So after delay is you don't need to click anything, you don't need to do anything. Whatever timing you put, it just moves to the next screen. Now let's set this to, let's say 1 second. That's 1s. 1 second. So action, is it navigate? Is it go back? Is it open overlay? Is it swipe overlay? Is it close overlay? Is it scroll? Is it open link? Or whatever thing you want it to be, right? But let's say that we want to navigate. Now, you see that I already set the screen. Now I can decide that I choose. You see how naming is very. So I just chose this one, right? Exactly. Like, you want it to happen like suddenly, or you want it to dissolve, or this. So move in, move out. Now we already chose. Now I want you to take a note of something. Did you notice? Did I press anything? Did you notice I didn't press anything? My voice is breaking here. Please, oh. Yes. Let me play it again so that you see it. I want to play it again. So you can also put the timing of how long you want people to wait. Do you want your users to wait for 30 minutes before you go to the next screen? Do you want it to be a very fast one? Do you want them to go within 1 second or 20 seconds or whatever timing you put, all those things? Please go back and go and test it. Go and explore. I want you to explore. Explore all this thing, right? My sound is breaking. Sorry about that. Let me switch my network. Now, can you hear me now? seconds so that it will not be too fast. So let's go. I hope my voice is not breaking again and you can see my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Hear me? I hope I've not lost anybody like this. Because I'm not seeing feedback. So I don't know if we're here or not. So that I will not just go. I think there's like a layback. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So let's move to the next because of time. So we've linked this guy. So our user can either click on this icon or there's an after effect. That is, it just goes when you click on if you look at most splash screens, then you don't need to click on it. It goes by itself to the next screen, right? So now this is the next action. So also this, if you notice that this is the onboarding, we call this the onboarding. There's a way it plays by itself, right? So let's say that this is on after delay as well. Let's use after delay. Let's just use after delay. You don't need to click on anything, right? Or we can decide to click. If you want your user to click, they have to click to get to the next. Now, this is the last one. Ladies, can you guys hear me? I'm not seeing anybody's message, so I'm just going. Right? I think there's a lag network. So let's move to the next. So from the onboarding, you want to be able to go to registration. So this is your action button. You click on the button, then connect the hotspot, take the hotspot to your destination. This is your destination. No, go to your destination. This is no. The screen is the screen that is your destination. Okay, this is an image. That's why it's not linking. Okay, I see. So the other ones are images. That's why it's not linking. So let's just work with this. So now let's see how it works. Okay. Can decide to on click. Then also here you can see more prototype settings. You can show more. You can select different device you want this to work. Let's say you want this to work on an iPhone 14. So when you play it, it's not showing because it's black. So let's see. Let's change the color to white, for instance. Okay, you get to see it very well. Okay. Okay. So let's try the after delay. Okay, that's all. The other screens are images, so I can't link them. It's not a frame. So this is supposed to go. What's delaying this one from going? What's delaying you from going? Let's see what's wrong. Let me remove it. Let me use next instead. Okay, navigate. Okay, on tap. Okay. Okay, good to know. Sorry, I didn't get to see you guys' response for a while, actually. So, do you have to go and try and test all this? So, there's the starting point, right? That's the panel here by the right. There's a starting point. There's the starting point. There's interactions where you get to see different triggers or actions. There's where you can what's the word? You can there's an overflow that you can make something scroll. So instead of I'm coming. Let me try something. Let's go to Elizabeth's design. So let's say that we have a lot of so let's say that we have a lot of this guy. Let me go back. I want to show us something very important. Oh no, where are you? Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me try the second one. Okay. I want to ungroup this, remove the auto layout, ungroup. Okay. So let's say that, for example, we have a lot of forms to fill. What's going on? Okay. That's another thing about auto layouts. Auto layouts will just help you. Let me just remove all this here and add auto layouts. I hope I do not lost anybody. It's very important we don't get lost in this journey. It's a long journey. Let's just use auto layouts. Okay. So let's say I just want to show you one of the prototype how to use it. So let's say that you don't want your users to scroll. Maybe you have a lot of. Can you see how auto layout made my work easy? So I have a lot of form, and I don't want them to like start, or I don't want to expand this or make this screen longer. So there's a way I can come here. Coming. Oh, what's wrong? Oh no, it's not working. No. I don't know what's wrong with my. Okay. So I don't know why this is. I don't know, my command X is not working. I don't know what's going on right now. Anyways, Elizabeth, are you touching something? Because I'm trying to look for do a control, but it's not going. Control Z to go back. Anyways, okay. So to make this work, right, you have to click on clip content. That's on the slide. I don't understand. What if users want to go back to check the slides again? Yes, you have to. So that's your design. That's your work. So if, for instance, this guy was, let's use Elizabeth design. Let's say, for instance, we have this, right? And your user wants to go back. Let's say we have this screen. So let's say this is our starting point, right? We've chosen our prototype mode, and this is your starting point, right? So we have clicked this as our starting point. Sorry. Right, this is your starting point. Now you want your user to go from here to here. Now, if there's a back icon, let's assume this is a back icon, and you want them to go back here, you have to prototype it as well using this hotspot connection or connector to link it. Now let's see what happens. What's going on? Why is it not? Okay, so now let's say login. If I want to go back to the former design, I can click on this. Depending on what interaction or how you what you connect with what. So if you connect button to another screen, so that's what will work. If you don't connect, it will not work. Like, for instance, I did not connect all this one, so it cannot work. It is what I connect that will actually work. I hope you understand that, right? So I was saying that if you don't want your user to scroll, you can just move this guy, bring back your button. Anyways, Elizabeth, there's some inconsistency in your, but that's fine. Now, if we go, we can now, so for this to actually now show, let me play it. You see that it will not show. For every other thing to show, you can see that it stopped here. How do we connect the entire frame to perform an action? Okay, let's go back. This is your screen, right? Let's say this is your starting point. And as I said, it depends on your function, what you want your user to be able to do. Now, if in your prototype, you want your user to be able to click on this and take them to another screen, it will take them to another screen. Depending on what you actually connect or whatever connection you do, that's what will happen. It's not magic. It's whatever you touch like if you touch anything, you want this thing to work, it will work. But if you now think that, okay, in your head, you want your user to be able to go from this screen to this screen, and you did not link anything, it will not work. So how do you now connect the entire frame? Select whatever part you want to connect, that you want it to go to another destination. For instance, this is a login. You want your login to be able to go to another screen, and that's what I was showing you here. For instance, this is our splash screen. You remember that if you open a new mobile app, it shows you a splash screen where it shows you the logo or whatever animations. Now, from that, sometimes you don't need to click. Most design I have seen, you don't need to click on anything. It goes by itself. That's an animation. There's a way you can bring in the animation, and that's when you click on your frame. Now, on your frame, because you want this whole entire screen to go to this next, you don't need to now click on particular place. You click on that entire screen. Don't forget, you have to go to the prototype mode. You click on this frame. This is where your frame is. This is your frame. You click on the point, the beginning points, right? Where the name is or whatever. You click on it. It takes the entire frame. Or I hope you're following. It takes the entire frame. Then it shows you connectors. So whatever you want to connect from, can you see? Look at this hotspot. I call it hotspot connector or connection. So now this is it. Let's say you want to use this side, whatever side, but as far as performing the action. So you've selected the entire frame. You take the hotspot connection and you take it to whatever screen you want it to go. And you do your settings. Do you want people to tap on it for you to go to the next screen, or do you want an after delay? Then your after delay, how long do you want your user to be able to see the next screen? Right? What kind of animation do you want? Do you want it instant? Do you want to dissolve? Let's say we do dissolve, right? Let me show you. That's what happened. I did not click on anything and it actually worked because I linked the entire screen to another screen. So I can say that, okay, if for instance, if there's a back icon and this user wants to go back to splash screen, okay, you understand. Thank you. All right, we have 5 minutes to go. Do we have any question? What I've taught you so far, do you understand? Is it clear? Can you go and try out new, like, if you have your design, you can go to Figma community, pick one of the open source resources and just link and play it and see how it works. Play with your typing. Do we understand what I have explained so far? Can you go to Figma community? Oh yeah, everybody, let's go to Figma community. How do we reverse a connection we don't want? Okay, that's a good question. So you can just click on this. For instance, this is the connection you don't want. And you click on it, it shows you that the wire that you clicked on, see, now look at it, you click on it, it shows you the wire. So you pick the particular wire. Now, if the particular connector or hotspot connector you don't want it on top, you just delete it. Or there are two options. Is that you click on it and delete, or you just remove it. But the faster way is actually you can just remove it from there are 3 ways actually. Is that you click and remove it, you drag it by yourself, or you go to the interaction path module on your right screen and remove. Click on the minus and it removes. Do we get? Now everybody look, watch me as I go to my Figma community. Okay. So this is my Figma community. And there's design resources, there's plugins, whiteboarding, presentation, whatever thing you want. Can you see it? Can you see it here? Okay. Oh my God, I missed that. Sorry. Let's quickly do that. We have like 4 minutes. Sorry about that. Okay. The scrolling part I was teaching you. Now you have to, your prototype, you now have to, there's a place where under scrolling behavior, there is scroll with parents. Now, this is your major scroll. Now, this is the parent. Now, if you want this to scroll with the parent, you have to you have to click on it. There's positioning, there's scroll with parents, there's fix that is stay in a place, and there's sticky stop at top edge. Those are the 3 positions. Please, I want you to test all those things too. Let's do scroll with parents. We don't want it to scroll with parents. We just want it to be here, static, because we don't want all this to scroll. We just want this to scroll. So we do scroll with parents. We do horizontal. Sorry, it should be vertical. Now let's play it. Let's see what happens. Did you see that this guy did not move? What is just scrolling is just this guy. Did you see that? It's just what? How can you create your own logo? You will design your logo. Whatever logo you want to design, you design it. If you want to design logo, you can. If you are good with the pencil tool or whatever, you can design your logo depending on what logo you want to do. But learn design first. Anyways, I hope that is very clear. We just have 2 minutes to go. So I hope you're able to understand. So your take-home assignment, go and test all the prototyping effects. Go to Figma community, like I've shown you here. Let's use a particular this thing. Let's say education web. Education app. It shows you different. Just go to show or result so that you'll be able to select which one. Now let's use education app UI kit. You open you open it, whatever this thing, then it opens. Figma community is after your home icon, there's another icon. After home, there's an icon that's like web. That's where you see, you click on it. Or you go to where your name is, you click on it, and it shows you community. That's if you have not signed up before. It shows you community. So let's go and test all this. Please don't forget to duplicate. How do you duplicate? You click on it, on the naming, and you duplicate it so that you can play around it and every other person. So I hope that is very clear. So we have like 1 minute to go. So if there's no other question, maybe in our next class. So next class, let's not forget that we're having a guest designer that would, so your questions, come along with your questions. What about, there's no stupid question. In design, you have to be curious, you have to ask questions. Come with your questions and whatever thing that you have, come with it. So do we have any question? I think this is fine. So thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful time today. You can see how we spent 2 hours to just do practical. So we can, if we can spend hours, and that's how, like, we can spend hours. So, but if we're able to do all these things easily, it will help us to do things faster. We will not be able to, something that we're able to do in 1 hour, you can do it in 30 minutes. And that's the place of practicing and see how you can use your variables and all that. Like I said, don't let your work stop here. Go on YouTube, check for basic tutorial on Figma, using Figma, because Figma is now updated. So you might want to get the latest update, right? So thank you very much. I tried it and Figma closed ma. Maybe it's your laptop, or I don't know about that. But thank you so much for your time today. We'll see on Friday. Everybody, please be present. It's very, very important about that call. So please get your question ready. Whatever question you have, come ready. Sorry about that, Chooks. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you in our next class. Bye.